we are reminded that anger doesn't solve anything. It builds nothing. But it can destroy everything. It's never what people do that makes us angry. It's what we tell ourselves about what they did. Any person capable of angering you becomes your master. He can anger you only when you permit yourself to be disturbed by him. Don't hold to anger, hurt or pain. They steal your energy and keep you from love. Whatever is begun in anger ends in shame. Don't get the impression that you arouse my anger. You see, one can only be angry with those he respects. In the beginning, the universe was created. This has made a lot of people very angry and been widely regarded as a bad move. Never do anything when you are in a temper, for you will do everything wrong. Anger and intolerance are the twin enemies of correct understanding. I know of no more disagreeable sensation than to be left feeling generally angry without anybody in particular to be angry at. What comes out of you when you are squeezed is what is inside of you. It isn't the mountain ahead that wears you out, it's the grain of sand in your shoe. In times of great stress or adversity, it's always best to keep busy, to plow your anger and your energy into something positive. The way to change others' minds is with affection, and not anger. He that would be angry and sin not, must not be angry with anything but sin. Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it. Acting in anger and hatred throughout my life, I frequently precipitated what I feared most: the loss of friendships and the need to rely upon the very people I abused. Anger exceeding limits causes fear, and excessive kindness eliminates respect. I lose my temper, but it's all over in a minute, said the student. So is the hydrogen bomb, I replied. But think of the damage it produces. One of the best ways of keeping your temper in an argument, as most of us know only too well, is not to listen to anything the other person has to say. Get mad, then get over it. Letting go gives us freedom, and freedom is the only condition for happiness. If, in our heart, we still cling to anything, anger, anxiety, or possessions, we cannot be free. A man who has never made a woman angry is a failure in life. Of the 7 deadly sins, anger is possibly the most fun. To lick your wounds. To smack your lips over grievances long past. To roll over your tongue the prospect of bitter confrontations still to come. To savor to the last toothsome morsel both the pain you are given and the pain you are giving back. In many ways it is a feast fit for a king. The chief drawback is that what you are wolfing down is yourself. The skeleton at the feast is you. There's nothing wrong with anger provided you use it constructively. A man is about as big as the things that make him angry. Guilt is anger directed at ourselves, at what we did or did not do. Resentment is anger directed at others, at what they did or did not do. Bigotry may be roughly defined as the anger of men who have no opinions. Love implies anger. The man who is angered by nothing cares about nothing. Anger is not bad. Anger can be a very positive thing. The thing that moves us beyond the acceptance of evil. Anger makes you smaller, while forgiveness forces you to grow beyond what you were. Anger is a momentary madness. So control your passion or it will control you. Never speak out of anger. Never act out of fear. Never choose from impatience. But wait and peace will appear. This is a dark time, filled with suffering and uncertainty. Like living cells in a larger body, it is natural that we feel the trauma of our world. So don't be afraid of the anguish you feel, or the anger or fear, because these responses arise from the depth of your caring and the truth of your interconnectedness with all beings. The best fighter is never angry. How often it is that the angry man rages denial of what his inner self is telling him. Anger is never without a reason, but seldom with a good one. How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it? Anger is a killing thing. It kills the man who angers. For each rage leaves him less than he had been before. It takes something from him. One should not lose one's temper unless one is certain of getting more and more angry to the end. People won't have time for you if you are always angry or complaining. Anger is the most impotent of passions. It affects nothing it goes about, and hurts the one who is possessed by it more than the one against whom it is directed. The best remedy for anger is delay. The truth will set you free. But first it will make you miserable. No one can make you jealous, angry, vengeful, or greedy, unless you let him. He who angers you conquers you. Usually when people are sad, they don't do anything. They just cry over their condition. But when they get angry, they bring about a change. Be not angry that you cannot make others as you wish them to be. Since you cannot make yourself as you wish to be. Angry people are not always wise. Why do we hold on to negativity? For some reason. We believe that others are affected by our experience of remaining upset, hurt, or angry, holding on to pain, anger. Guilt or shame is the glue that binds us to the situation we want to escape. Happiness arises as a result of different causes and conditions. If you harm someone out of anger, you may feel some superficial satisfaction. But deep down you know it was wrong. Your confidence will be undermined. However, if you have an altruistic attitude, you'll feel comfortable and confident in the presence of others. Do not meddle in the affairs of wizards, for they are subtle and quick to anger. Silence is one of the hardest arguments to refute. Anybody can become angry, that is easy. But to be angry with the right person and to the right degree and at the right time and for the right purpose, and in the right way, that is not within everybody's power and is not easy. For every minute you remain angry, you give up 60 seconds of peace of mind. Anger is one letter short of danger. It is a waste of energy to be angry with a man who behaves badly, just as it is to be angry with a car that won't go. A moment of patience in a moment of anger prevents 1,000 moments of regret. Discussion is an exchange of knowledge, an argument an exchange of ignorance. There needs to be understanding that anger never helps to solve a problem. It destroys our peace of mind and blinds our ability to think clearly. Anger and attachment are emotions that distort our view of reality. When you are offended at any man's fault, turn to yourself and study your own failings. Then you will forget your anger. Hope has 2 beautiful daughters. Their names are Anger and Courage. Anger at the way things are, and courage to see that they do not remain as they are. Resentment is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. Anger is just anger. It isn't good. It isn't bad. It just is. What you do with it is what matters. It's like anything else. You can use it to build or to destroy. You just have to make the choice. Flying off the handle sometimes causes hammers and humans to lose their heads, as well as their effectiveness. Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. When angry, count to 10 before you speak. If very angry, count to 100. It is impossible for you to be angry and laugh at the same time. Anger and laughter are mutually exclusive, and you have the power to choose either. I know. To banish anger altogether from one's breast is a difficult task. It cannot be achieved through pure personal effort. It can be done only by God's grace. Never go to bed mad. Stay up and fight. When you squeeze an orange, orange juice comes out. Because that's what's inside. When you are squeezed, what comes out is what is inside. Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured. The more anger towards the past you carry in your heart, the less capable you are of loving in the present. Speak when you are angry, and you will make the best speech you will ever regret. It is wise to direct your anger towards problems, not people, to focus your energies on answers, not excuses.